States law can't abrogate the rights of U.S. citizens.
I didn't hear that. I think we have everybody
Yeah,
here.
but they have all the documentation. They know who we are.
They have all the documents.
This is get off the land.
Can I hear you for a second?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Excuse me, who are we going to speak to?
I'm sorry?
Who are we going to speak to?
I'm not sure who's coming to speak to you yet. Somebody
Who we
will.
going?
Somebody will.
So while we're being investigated and interrogated, we still have to remain the cuffs on
Yeah, you're
The
gonna
whole
stay in
thing-
cuffs. Yeah.
through the whole interrogation.
For right now, you're gonna stay in cuffs.
Where's Lieutenant Bowen?
He'll be around.
Oh, okay.
And he has the documentation?
I don't know what he had. I mean, the ones that you had at the.
Yes.
We had those.
That's cool, because I even have them online. It's all public information.
Okay.
Everything I put in public information, even the status.
Okay, great.
That's what
Rosemary
Miss
Scott.
Scott. Yeah, line one.
That's all.
That's all.
That's the council. That's the council just called.
Okay.
Because as we said, we knew after a certain time that we was in danger.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's calling the FBI after this.
All right.
Yeah. If you don't kill us, we're gonna go to the hospital after this. It is a strong possibility.
There's some verify the papers. It's too.
They know the papers.
It's
is
too many
verified.
people know we here.
That's true. That is true.
There's too many people that know.
How are you? Good, thanks.
The glasses.
The hat.
What you trying to do? Pull it off?
Lift it up.
You want me? I don't know.
No. It's the Quinn is on a white supremacist kick of dominance.
Let's just get it done.
Keeba, they had their plan. They had the documentations. They knew. It's not something that is foreign to them. They knew they had no jurisdiction. This is to threaten you or kill you.
It's not like that haven't happened.
They keep the same routine. The most I can hope that they don't cannibalize us.
Hold on.
We have to be the same species. They don't eat
Oh,
us.
Tom, hold on.
That's the most I hope for.
It's not one. But we prepared for this.
That's true. Roosevelt said that he involved the media after this. Because they have to come up with something. Oh, you on your own land, exercising your own jurisdiction. You're a U.S. citizen, not a state citizen. If anything, they're supposed to contact the FBI. If we committed a crime, we're supposed to contact the FBI for U.S. citizens. We're not in your jurisdiction. But they want you to sign and say you're in your jurisdiction. No birth certificate, no social security, not even a damn driver's license. That's why he says state ID, so you're a state citizen.
Hi guys.
Hello. Could we be unhandcuffed?
Yeah, I mean, we could get there at one point, but there's some policies that we have to follow.
Cool, and usual punishment ain't put in
I'm
there,
not
no?
trying to punish you.
So we've been arrested.
We're trying to get some information here. We never met you guys before.
So could you release us? We have
If we
documented
not arrested, then
disabilities.
we under,
Okay.
So we're being detained, but
this is about force.
this is
We
under
don't-
torture.
We don't consent.
Torture.
Yes, it is. I have a documented disability. We've been abducted. I never consented. I'm not a state citizen.
Okay.
And yet, if anything, call the federal.
Excuse me. and
You're in
we-
our custody,
And we
and
was taking off the tribal land.
Yeah. And if there's a problem, I mean, like I said, You should contact the federal.
And what's your name, ma'am?
My name is Tonia, Tonia, Scott, SCOTT.
Okay, do you have a middle name?
Never had one in my life.
Never had one. How about your date of birth?
I was not born. I arrived, but could you please take these cuffs off?
And ma'am,
And your name is?
We've been in,
I'm Trooper Bruner.
and I'm
Okay.
Trooper
Trooper
Jones.
Jones.
we've been
Jones
in,
and Bruno. Jones and Bruno. These are very uncomfortable
We've
for
been in
us.
accident,
We've
and she
been
has-
driving. We've been.
What we'd like to
sitting.
do is just figure out what's going on
Since
here, and then we can get to the
12:30.
point of taking them off, but you
Well, the
understand, we
point is,
have rules and
I
regulations that
provided
we have to follow.
documentations that it was county recorded. I provided documentations from the Department of Interior pertaining to Aboriginal title. I even provided documentation from Native Rights, where the attorney gave tribal jurisdiction. What we ended up doing was, it's county recorded, it can only be extinguished on an act of Congress. And we also have documentation in which we requested your assistance, because these are your citizens, state citizens, to remove them off the land.
Okay.
See, there's a private property.
excuse me, hold on, I
Excuse
just
me.
wanna make sure.
What's your name, ma'am, before we get into
My name is Keeba Harris, and before we continue, are we being recorded? Cause
You
I
are.
would like this on the record.
Yes, yeah, we are.
Okay,
Okay.
that is important.
Okay. What is your date of birth, Keeba?
My date of arrival
Yeah.
is 11/4/76.
Okay. And Tanya, would you like,
Keeba's
Tony, no, don't.
okay.
So what ends up happening is this: we have documented proof. Bureau of Land Management told us to basically, since I'm a full blood, you can have Aboriginal title through, which is a federal land patent. It's a permissive right from the United States government to the Aboriginal people and their descendants. And what ended up happening, I provided all the documentations, and our Bureau of Land Management, the attorney name is Charles Jones. He contacted and told me to have the documented recorded with Pike County to make it public notice. You can look that up.
I'm just writing.
It
this
can't
down.
be extinguished as a quiet and uncontrolled title. Also, we also had it recorded as a LLC with the Pennsylvania State what's that department, because we wanted to, because we can't charge taxes on the land. If you look at the Aboriginal title and that's recorded with the county, there's no tax ID number.
Excuse me,
So
the Sewell Creek and Pine Ridge Indian Community.
okay, let me finish speaking, Keeba. So what ended up happening was, you can look online, Pennsylvania, which are Division of Corporations. We had an LLC because we was going to charge, we made a deal with the state to charge the non-natives on the land. Now, what we was trying to do is remove the property management company. I contacted your agencies, and Lieutenant Bowen said he had no jurisdiction. This is federal jurisdiction. I said, all right. Department of Interior gave me a letter stating that it's a federal jurisdiction. So I tried to speak to your, whether Harrisburg, and there's a letter from Harrisburg from your Attorney General's office and the attorney with the state police, which states that they cannot get involved because it's not your jurisdiction. And it's the attorney name is John something. I have copies at home.
When did you contact Lieutenant Bowen?
Last month.
Last month.
And I contact the attorney. I have the documentation. I bought it all.
Excuse me, we first
And
trying
hold
to
up,
contact
and hold
the
up,
first official.
and
Okay.
the attorney that represents the state police, your attorney, he stated the tribe is recognized and my status recognized. I had to provide documentation from the U.S. Federal District Court.
Excuse
Right
me.
here in this letter, let me finish speaking, Keeba.
Excuse me.
From the U.S. Federal District Court, where I tried to remove the people off the land. They told me I had to do everything myself. So what we had to do was we ended up contracting with the Pequots. Their tribal judge, Judge Robert Eagle, what's his last name?
Thomas.
Thomas, yes. And we set up the tribal courts with the assistance of Native Rights. We set up the tribal constitution with the assistance of Native Rights. These are all federal programs. All right? And I have documentations to show it. And they also gave a printout with tribal jurisdiction. We're a tribe of lineage. We're all family members. There's 80 of us up here in the north, and there's over 400 of us down south. We have our own tribal ID. We even tried to contract with you with PennDOT. We was told because we're sovereigns, we can't contract. So we had to contact Senator Casey's office, and we had to get our own plates. We did everything according to the book. And now we're being harassed.
So how'd you end up here?
Well, let's see. Is it white supremacy? Let's see. I provided documentations.
Well, what happened?
Yeah, what happened today?
Well, what ended up happening was we went over there September 6th and tried to remove the property management. I have video, I have a copy of the video, and I also have the video at home. So what ended up happening was the property management group became aggressive. One of the officers has a gun, or Smith & Wesson. All right, the security, they hired security. I said, listen, lady, listen. I never gave you authorization, I have no contract with you. Also, for the record, I have a declaration of status in which I provide my federal status, documentations of how my driver's license was canceled, birth certificate was canceled, the voter's registration was canceled, and the Social Security was canceled. I have all those documentations because when the State Department put me in my federal status, what was that? October 2014. It's in the documentations. They put me in my federal status. I'm no longer a state citizen. I'm under the 14th Amendment, Section 2, in which it states U.S. citizens. How has it go?
Under the Indian Citizenship
Act of 1924, and I have those documentations too. Indians are U.S. citizens.
So you tried to, what date was that in September?
That was October 2014. I have the documentation.
No, you said you went down in September, I think. you said.
September 6th of this
6th.
year.
How did that end up?
I have the video.
Who'd you speak with down?
I spoke to that same Caucasian officer, the security guard who was there. He was very aggressive. He had his gun. And there was other people there that called themselves sovereign citizens, and they called themselves the Home Association. I never authorized them. I never have a contract with them. And they told me, you better get off this land. And I have on video, stated that I signed over land to her. I would never do that. Land's inherited. This is a federal land patent from the United States. I can't sell land. It can only be inherited. So what ended up happening was I have her on recording, and then they became so aggressive that myself and 8 other people had to leave. And I said, no problem. Since you're armed, we coming with armed security. So when the armed security did come, I contracted Adam Abdul Rahim. I contracted his company, and as he's going to be tribal law enforcement. So what ended up happening was he tried to go speak to this individual in the office. He pulled out a gun on him. The whole time I was listening to it because I had my phone.
Who pulled out a gun?
The security that was there. Then the security told Adam, after he was subdued and his gun was taken.
When was this? Today?
This happened recently. He said he showed him the documentations. He showed him the tribal order of ejectment that was signed by myself as the chief and the tribal council. And we also had a meeting pertaining to this. Like I said, there's 80 of us up here up north and 400 down south. So it's all on our website. And we had assistance with Native Rights, federal organizations.
Excuse me.
So was that today, or was that?
Which one? The incident that happened with the security?
Yeah, correct.
He became so aggressive. I'm listening to this. Adam had to subdue him and take his gun. This happened today. So what ended up happening was this individual, I also have him on video when we was here September 6th. He was aggressive towards us. Then he told Adam, when Adam showed him documentations, how it was county recorded, and a letter from the Department of Interior, and he said, I'm sorry, I didn't know that I was trespassing on someone else's land. And he said that. I heard it, and there's other witnesses that heard it. So what ended up happening was, one officer, we saw, what's that one, a security car bypass, and I guess that's when they contacted you. So I brought my documentations. If y'all suddenly misplace them, I have other copies, multiple copies.
And the council has
So
copies as well.
let's go. I just want to make sure I'm clear. So Adam goes into where?
He went into the property management office.
He went into the office.
Because we
Okay.
contracted with a property
Did they-
management company.
Was he invited there? Was there a
No,
meeting
no,
set up?
no, it's not that.
Okay.
This is,
They
we have Aboriginal
unlawfully.
title. They're there unlawfully. They have no contract with me to be there.
Okay, well I'm just asking, was he invited or was
No,
there
he
a
wasn't
meeting?
invited. There was no meeting.
Okay, so he
Yes.
went
So,
there
no,
and
went
he
there.
just went inside the office?
He went inside the office and showed them that, listen, you have to get off. We have an ejectment
Without
order
authorization.
from the courts.
Mm-hmm.
And with the ejectment order, signed and sealed with the tribal seal, it's the crazy part is the letter that we have from your supervisors in Harrisburg, it addresses us as the Salt Creek Pine Ridge Indian community and
Chief.
addresses me as the principal chief. Because I provided legal documentations from these third parties, these federal agencies. So what ended up happening is, like I said you couldn't get involved. Because
We
I
tried
wanted to contract with you, the state police, because those are your citizens.
We kept trying to
I
get
don't
y'all.
mind getting y'all to go get your citizens.
That's what we kept
So
saying.
we had to contact the Department of Justice, back tribal justice, the attorney there is Bob. He said, listen, if the state will not intervene, you have to force them by contacting their attorney general. We did all of that. And that's how we ended up with the letter from your attorney, period. That said that you're not getting involved. You can't get involved.
That's we kept trying to get y'all.
They were so aggressive, we had an order of protection. So the attorney told us with the Department of Justice, he said, listen, tell them, we cited your own section under Pennsylvania law, a foreign order of a foreign, what is it called? A foreign restraining order. Remove your citizens off the land. We're being threatened. If anything, I'm surprised because I said, if anything, you would contact the FBI under the 8 major crimes. If we committed a crime, you have to contact the FBI. I have federal papers here in my sleeve.
Now, when you decided to go there today with Adam, who all went?
It was Adam and his brother, because I contracted with Adam. I have his contract.
He's
If you want to, I can give it to you.
And
And he's contracted as the tribal chief of police. And it's in one of our decrees, Decree 25. And I have that, and which it states, within the federal law, we cited everything, and which it states that the court of jurisdiction on tribal land pertains to the tribal courts. And we cited multiple, and under the courts, it stated multiple federal cases in which we have to have a tribal law enforcement to go in conjunction with that court as the enforcement of the law.
Okay, so who went with Adam?
It was Adam and his brother, and he contracted other people.
What's the brother's name?
Moses. Is Adam and Moses, and these are his contractors. The only one I contracted was him.
Was Adam?
Was Adam.
And when did you contract him?
I contracted him last month. He had his attorneys look over the documentations. We went down to SBA, which is a federal agency, down 26 Federal Plaza. We had a boy in November. He's a real estate attorney. He looked at it. We also had a judge, a Brooklyn judge. Her name is Yvette Clark. And she looked over the documentations and she said, listen, you're going to have tribal law enforcement. We contacted the Department of Justice. Yeah. We've been going through this for over 2 years.
Native Rights Fund.
We even went to federal court.
Today.
Here you go.
So, who else? It's the two of you. Are you in a car or what?
Yes.
Whose vehicle?
Mine.
What kind of vehicle was it?
It's a Ford Pacifica. No, Chevy Pacifica. Yes, because we had to.
Who was driving?
I was driving. No. Adam was driving at first, and then when I sat in the back seat of the car, we were basically observing the situation.
So
because
Adam drove.
Because for our own,
I allowed him to drive.
Where'd you guys meet?
I had him meet me.
Where?
In New York City.
So you guys drove in one vehicle from New York City to here?
Yeah, why not? It's only an hour and 20 minutes.
Wow, yeah. I mean,
from New York City.
Excuse me,
we also have toll receipts.
For our own safety, even when contacting the Department of Justice Tribal Division,
yeah.
the attorney there has stated as aggressive
as they were. We sent the video.
Has stated that we needed to come with.
Even the Caucasian security guard, the short obese dude, he would do this in front of the car.
Oh, so
then he pulled out his gun, and then other people that was there, you better get out of here, you better run. I said, this is insane.
That for our own
safety.
safety.
We was in correspondence with HUD, HUD, another federal agency in Philly, and HUD in New York. And what we said was, because we have this development, and we were in correspondence with one of the property managers before she left, Alexandria. She told us like 38 units were empty, and another one for Soul Creek was like 200 units was empty. So we contacted HUD and said, we want a contract and bring some of your homeless people in. I even have an email from a homeless organization in Bangor that said they wanted to bring homeless families in. I said, come on, I don't care.
Even for the other property.
And it doesn't have anything to do with race because my brother-in-law is German. And you think you Caucasian. He blonde hair, blue eyes.
And our nieces.
All right? And my cousins, all 3 of them are married to Caucasian broads. And they were supposed to move up in there. So we wanted to bring the people from Philly, Bangor, and New York City that were homeless up in there. We're not removing anybody other than the property management group because we putting Foxworth Realty up in there to basically deal with that because they can deal with federal funding more so than I can.
Well, we kept hearing before at one point was
we
trying to move all the people on the land.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
That
Say
makes-
more
Yeah, we're
people.
trying to figure out what you guys are.
Why are we
do.
trying to remove the
property-
Caucasians?
The property manager.
Hold up, I'm gonna be honest with you. No, all jokes aside, you can call Jess yourself. In Saw Creek, I wanted to keep Jess, Linda, Kathy, and they're Caucasian. And if you talk to Jess, I've been trying to talk to Jess for the longest.
Okay.
So
Where do you
This
guys
thing-
live at?
we live also in Dutchess County. Dutchess County
Up
and
here?
Linwood
Do you live
City.
up here? That you have a
We
resident?
have a property up here and we have a property
Where?
that's in other areas in Pennsylvania. Because we were domiciled.
What's your
here.
address up here?
Oh, why? Why?
What's that?
Why?
I would just like to know.
Well, when I have a home, 4110 Winchester, Bushkill, Pennsylvania, 18324.
Okay.
It's
And
on the
Is
website.
your house, Tonia?
Yes, it's 20. Yes, it's look on the Saw Creek, Pine Ridge. Look at Saw Creek and PineRidge.com.
Who else resides there?
It was myself and my
Me.
sister.
Okay. Who do you live there?
Yes.
Okay.
They have that.
And
What's that, ma'am?
No, that's the address.
Yeah.
You should see it. It's noted. They could even verify everything.
So what ended up happening was, when the State Department put me in my status in October 2014, they took everything, my birth certificate, everything. I got, when you look at the paperwork, they show you. So when they took me, I was no longer a state citizen. I had to go into the jurisdiction of my mother and my grandmother. And they're full-blood Cherokees off the Enoree Reservation in South Carolina. Our families is still in South Carolina, and we have some in North Carolina. So that's why when we was having problems, we contacted Ernestine, the Oklahoma Cherokees, because she's a distant cousin from my cousin Roosevelt, and I said, listen, what should we do? I said, I want the state to work with us. And that's when she said, do an LLC, and it's filed with your Pennsylvania State Department. You can look it up.
But even with contacting
And she said to do
Casey's
that.
office,
She said, at least do that.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, how about today? Let's get back to today, because you have paperwork to prove the stuff you're talking about.
Everything.
So we could.
Yes.
What the problem was,
So today
we
you
told the
meet
property
Adam?
management to get out.
leave.
Today.
We told them that. We told them to get out September 6th. I've been sending faxes to them. I've been sending certified mail to them. I have all my documentation.
Excuse me, with the.
I've been going through this for 2 years. I even took them to federal court. Look at the
Excuse me,
paper.
Did you tell him with the security? It's like he was doing
He
the
was
tackle.
aggressive.
Like
Well, you
two
think he might have been a
tackle.
little nervous because.
Oh.
No, this
Were
was
you guys
September
armed?
6th.
Who was armed?
No, none of us was armed. He was armed.
This
That's
one
why I
became-
had to come back with someone armed. He had a Smith and Wesson on the
So-
side,
so
and he
today-
was like this.
He
So
was,
you guys
he
come
was
back
like
today
he
with your own
was
security.
And
He was-
only 2 people had guns.
And who had the guns?
It was Adam, who's a licensed
He's the chief.
security officer.
He's
We contracted
law
him as
enforcement,
chief.
yes.
Yeah, and it was we gave his brother a BB gun.
Who's his brother? Moses?
Moses, we gave him a BB gun.
yes,
Whose
it-
BB gun was it?
It's my BB gun.
Okay. What kind is it?
It's a regular BB gun.
Like a rifle or a handgun?
Oh no, it's a handgun. It's
Okay.
only 250 feet. It can't do any damage. Only thing it does is just a little. The whole purpose is I just want you to
Because
don't
we-
come near me. Just-
Did you two have any kind of weapons?
I have a pepper spray, so if he tries to attack me,
Yeah.
I can protect myself.
How about you, man?
Same.
You know that pepper spray?
Pepper
Yes.
spray, and I had a stun gun to protect myself if you come near me.
Because he kept doing this.
He was
stuff.
so
He
aggressive,
kept,
and
like, to tackle
then we
us.
have video with the home association where it was a Caucasian female, and she was so aggressive that I said I've never seen anything like this before,
It's crazy.
and it's all on video.
To the point.
So
for our own
that's why we
safety.
contacted Lieutenant Bowman and said, listen, man, this is getting out of hand. These people are too aggressive. They got to get off the land. We got a property management company. We want to put homeless families in. You got a homeless shelter, a program for homeless families in Bangor, and you got people sleeping in cars? What the hell is wrong with you?
So it was the two of you, Adam and Moses.
Yes.
Who else was there?
That's it. That's in our car. That's in our Pacifica.
Okay.
Yes.
What about the other car?
I don't know who
I
they
forgot.
are.
I
They were
forgot.
contracted by him as to back him up. But that has nothing.
So did Adam bring them out?
No, they followed us when we.
I mean, did
When
he
they-
contact
He
them?
contacted.
You guys
he
did. You just
contacted
contacted
That's him. I had no contract.
Adam brought his
with him.
brother, and
Yeah.
Adam contacted the
Like
rest of these.
the other people on the contract.
What kind of car did they come in? Those
I don't
other
know.
guys?
It's
It's
a
a
great
great
car.
car.
Okay. How many were in that
I
car?
think.
I don't know. I didn't see them. They followed
How many?
us.
No, I believe it's a Lexus.
You sure that's a
Really?
It's a
Lexus?
Lexus. Or
Get out of here. I never seen
That's
Lexus
a
look that
silver-
little.
What
it's a
was
silver,
it?
silver emblem in the front. I'm not sure of that.
I can't tell you nothing about that car. It's a great car.
Is it Lexus?
How many people were in there?
I don't know.
Were they
Because
males,
they-
females?
I don't know because they drove behind us when we was in New York. And I said, Adam, come on, get in the car. He got in the car, and he said he called some people and they drove up behind us and met us.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't tell you
Contract
nothing
with
about
the,
it.
I guess for law, you gotta have law enforcement, people not gonna.
Yeah, and that's under the federal law that once you establish a court, you have to have
Have your own law
enforcers.
enforcement.
Did you guys think
Court.
of maybe calling Lieutenant Bowen or the
I
station
did call
today to-
Lieutenant Bowen, and he
today,
told
though?
me, he said, no, not today. He told me this is a federal issue. We was going through this for 2 years when you
Yeah,
had
so-
Lieutenant Jennings here.
There was who was the third vehicle?
There was a third one?
Third vehicle.
We didn't have no 3
So there was
vehicles.
2 vehicles.
No, just
No.
2. 2 was, I seen one follow us. I didn't see no one else.
No.
We was going through this with Lieutenant Jennings. He wanted us to go down and mediate. I said, I just want the property management group.
That's
Ow.
what we
I
kept.
understand that you guys have been fighting this battle a long time. That's not gonna get, I mean, between our conversation here, we're not gonna, it's been going on this long, we're not gonna solve it right now.
That's no problem.
But if you could help us just figure out the details of what happened today, you know, just like, you guys show up in 2 different cars, you said, right?
Yes.
You weren't sure how many people were in the other one?
No, they just followed us.
Okay, and you weren't quite sure what kind of car that was?
I know it's a little gray car,
Little
dark
gray
gray,
car?
dark
Okay.
gray.
Like, I
Alright.
thought it was like
So-
a silver, so.
Okay,
Dark
well,
Gray, silver
Yeah, that's-
color?
Something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
So did you guys pull up, can you kinda explain how, you said that Adam went in, did he go in alone at that point, or did you all go in?
No, we
Wait,
stayed in the car.
Yes, we stayed.
So who
You
all
two.
went into the building?
Just Adam and his brother.
Brother.
And Moses, right, his
Yes.
brother Moses. Okay.
These cups are uncomfortable.
And then-
We have a history. I got herniated disc and radiculopathy. She has
It was an
herniated disc too.
accident.
Car accidents. And I can provide you medical documentation if you need it.
Okay, well, we're gonna get you more comfortable, okay? But just,
I've
bear
heard
with
that
us here.
for over 2 hours. This is
Yeah.
under cool.
Well,
Excuse-
we're
me.
just meeting, we haven't been waiting for the past 2 hours, so we have to catch up
And
and
this
figure
is
out what's
tight.
going on.
Excuse me,
Yeah,
boy.
let's get going so we
Yeah.
can, you know what I mean, get you
Yeah.
guys settled.
I know you look at it
Okay.
to say you detain us by using torture techniques, but this is what I gave you is all documented.
Excuse
We record everything we do
Okay.
because we
What
still
does
have
that
an
say?
attorney, Tony Pigliano, who's a Native American attorney with the Pequot tribe, and we consult with him, and he said videotape everything. That's why we videotape. those
And we do
people.
too,
We have to
you know,
videotape
cameras and
everything 'cause he
audio in
said-
here and.
It would be a peon nightmare. These individuals would sit here and say, look at the Aboriginals are
That's
sitting up
what-
here trying to
that's-
abuse us. I don't abuse anybody because I don't want anyone to abuse me. Me, I don't believe in shackles. I try to talk to you. If that doesn't work, then I said, okay, then I have to go by the law. And I've consulted nothing but federal agencies
Excuse me.
with federal documentation.
Um,
Now, if you're gonna arrest us, so we can just go to the next step and have the FBI contacted, because this is crazy. We told you, I don't know if you want the story to change, you can look at the video, you can look at the documentation.
My partner and I would like to hear from you guys what you get there and Adam goes in, what happens.
Adam goes in,
We
what
didn't
with
happened,
the
we heard,
documentations, with the
Okay.
papers,
Yeah,
and
We
the
get all the
documentation.
documentation, we'll get to
he
that.
gave it to him, we gave him, he has the tribal court's order of ejectment,
Yes.
and it cites the federal law in which it states, tribes and Indians have the Aboriginal title.
Were you in the room when this happened?
No, I was listening to
Okay.
it on the phone.
Okay, so what, did
And
he have a
the-
phone going,
He has
is
a
that what you're
phone.
saying?
He has a phone.
What was it, like, just a regular phone call,
He
was
has
it
a
like a
phone. Yeah,
FaceTime
you
or
like-
something?
Like, I cut the phone on and listen to your conversation.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
he chose the guy the documentations.
So he had an active phone going on in there,
Yeah.
in that office while
And
this was
then what
going
ended
on?
up happening was.
And you were listening in the
What
car?
ended up happening, yeah. So what ended up
Okay.
happening was,
Excuse
what
me,
I heard
it
was,
basically would be no different from any other law enforcement.
you
going
have
ahead
a camera
and-
because
Oh, yeah, I'm just
Exactly.
asking for details.
Yeah, because
I'm not, yeah.
we can't evict, we have no lease.
Is there no
So we
contract
have the
with them?
legal right to eject you off the land. Under Pennsylvania law, and I even cited the law because I had to go to Bureau of Land Management. His name is Charles Johnson. He's the attorney for Bureau of Land Management. Okay, he stated Pennsylvania law, which it states you have to record it, make it public.
Yeah.
Because once you record and make it public, it's evidence of ownership. And I have that paperwork that says on Pennsylvania quasi, I think 398. Look it up.
Alright,
It's
so
state law.
he's recording it with his phone and you're listening to the conversation while you two are in your vehicle.
He said first he was aggressive, and then when he subdued him and took the gun from him, he turned around and said, he showed him documentations. He said, "I told you And then he said, "I'm sorry, I didn't know I was trespassing."
Who said that?
The Caucasian heavyset guy.
But this is a property manager or is this a security?
This is security
Security
guard.
guard?
Okay.
The property managers, I
Was
don't
he
know
in
what.
the, was he in the room also?
No, that's like when we went over there September 6th, and I have it on video now. I've also copied in the house.
Yes.
One of the staff members came out and said the director, the president, he got up, hauled ass when he heard us coming, and he drove right past us and left the home association in there. And that's when the female became so aggressive and said, "Well, you gave us the land."
The director,
I have to
legally,
this is a United States
wasn't
land
supposed to be
patent.
there.
This is a land
He was
patent.
aware of that.
I said, okay, cool. If there's a problem, you can contact the Cherokees in Oklahoma, speak to Ernestine, and if you need to know what a land patent is, there's a letter from the Department of Interior pertaining to the Aboriginal title.
When Adam, you mentioned that he just, he got in a little confrontation with
Yeah,
that.
the guy
Were you,
came
in, you were,
back.
were you in the room at that time?
I was in the car.
Okay.
I never walked in the room.
Because the
How did
it's the
you
same
come to
issue.
know that, he got in a fight with him and took his
I
gun
heard the
off him?
tussling. I heard the tussling.
Okay.
And then one of the guys came back and said he was very aggressive, and I said he was aggressive with us. I have him on
That's
video.
it. I just,
He was so aggressive.
so how could you do?
Who was one of the guys? So that other people went in there?
No, his brother Moses.
Moses.
Yeah,
So Moses came back out?
Moses came back out and said they had to subdue him because he pulled a gun out on him.
Did they say how they subdued him or anything?
No, I mean you're gonna protect your life. You think
But while
Aboriginal
Moses
life?
came out to tell you that, where was Adam?
He was inside. He was
This is
inside, handcuffing the guy because he was aggressive. And Adam life is just you
And-
telling me Aboriginal life has no value. Trust me, it does.
I mean,
All
for
right,
our
if someone pulls out a
safety,
Smith and Wesson on you, what you gonna do?
for our
Protect
own
yourself.
safety, I just said to
All
stay
right.
back. Because the way I
And we
would,
also have the Supreme Court case that was given to us pertaining to state police. If state police performs the search and seizure, we under sovereign. In fact, we under our sovereignty we can resist it. But also, it's all under the Civil Rights Act of 1968, which is on our website, which we have the full faith and credit of the United States, and it's in the Felix Cohen Handbook, Indian law, which states. Tribal sovereignty is an inherited right. It's not federal law, but international law. And it's not from an act of Congress, but from inherited. And I put all of that in there. We got all that from Native rights,
So-
the attorneys.
which helped assist us with establishing the courts.
Yes.
All right, I think we're concerned about what happened when they.
And I told you
Did
what
they go back
happened.
inside? Did Moses go back inside?
I'm not.
Yes.
Did
He
you guys
went
enter
back
the
inside.
building?
He went back inside.
Did you guys enter the
We
building?
never entered the
No.
building. We told you multiple times we didn't. I know this is the
Where-
interrogation to try to slip
What
you up.
about the other
But it
people
is.
in the other car?
The other car, I don't know. We didn't pay attention to them. We really didn't. I know I didn't. I was more concerned with taking our documentations
Yes.
after I saw the security car drive past with the flashing lights. So I started going in my book bag, taking our documentations, because I said, I know you're going to be coming. So I started putting out documentation. And then I brought out the documentation that the Native Rights gave us, and that which states tribal jurisdiction.
Some tribal land.
And I also took the letter out, in which it was from your attorney up in Harrisburg, from the state police, which states they cannot get involved. And we even gave them an order of restraint that we was told to give an order of restraint to. And y'all still said no. And Lieutenant Bowman, this is federal because it's federal land, and we have the letter from the Department of Interior. It's under federal law and federal land. You have no jurisdiction. Then we contacted the community house, the Indian community house in Manhattan, spoke to the attorneys there. And I said, maybe y'all just, trying to be white supremacists. Oh, okay, we're getting Texas and stuff. And calls.
So,
You're trying to be
okay.
white supremacists. And hold up, the attorney said the state can't get involved because it's two different jurisdictions.
That's
So we
that's
const-
what all
and that's
it is.
why we have
We just
constant
real
documentation.
surprised because
You
actually,
said,
All right.
so
actually
what
You
when
gotta-
we
you
tried,
gotta
we
understand
tried the
that-
contract, we kept
We're not
having
attorneys.
problems.
I
to
understand
say-
that,
I'm
but
not-
we spoke to your
I'm not
attorney.
an overly intelligent person.
Yes,
I don't
you are.
understand.
Don't play that. You play that.
I don't understand
Stop
all
that.
these things
Yeah.
that I know that you've been going through a lot, okay? I'm gonna go
Papers
ahead and
in my
assume that
sleeves.
you guys You guys have done your homework, you believe, you know, you have the rights.
I have the
Well, like I said,
documentations,
I don't-
and we can contact the
But
organization.
what we're here to do is just find out the details of what happened today,
Okay.
and then we can move forward with that.
Okay.
But could
even
you remove
with
these
the-
handcuffs?
even with
We have been
contact-
cooperative.
Excuse me, even with contacting the Department of Justice Tribal Division,
That's
directly
right.
involved with their attorneys.
That's
it was
right.
that-
We
that
even
have to have
contact
our
the Bureau
vocals
of
because your witness
Prisons.
is.
Was any of the attorneys that you contacted, were they present with you guys at all?
No, they said we have to do
No?
it because we have our own courts
Okay.
and we have to have our own tribal judge. And they provided documentations that show that you have to have your own tribal law enforcement. And they said this is to be sufficient enough to get to the police, and we got the papers and we're gonna give them to you.
Okay.
And it's in the folder.
And some of the
And,
documentation
and
is
if
given
you
to
want to, they even
Bowen,
sent a
they
copy
want-
to me in an email, you can download it yourself.
Okay.
And the Bureau of Prisons that's located in, the Federal Bureau of Prisons.
We kept trying to contract.
We tried to contract with Philly and even Otisville.
If she-
And they said, just what they said, eject them off the land. And gave us the federal papers to show the federal court, the Supreme Court cases and federal cases that says just eject them off the land. And they said if they violate the 8 major crimes, contact the FBI and the FBI will get involved. Number 1, assault. Number 2 was rape, assault,
Murder,
attempted
different
murder,
things like that.
different stuff like that.
Very,
So when that dude pulled out his gun, Adam was just protecting himself, and he was protecting himself and doing his job.
It would be no different
Different
if
than you.
someone was to place a gun
And
and
show
at
you.
your.
And you guys are hearing this on the
Yeah, I'm
phone.
hearing it.
What did you hear exactly said?
Like a tussle.
Yeah, but what
And
came
then I
before
heard-
that? What kind
I
of
heard,
words were exchanged?
I don't know about words exchange. The guy was very aggressive. All I heard was a tussle,
Okay.
and then afterwards, when papers was given to him, because even in the video, I gave him papers,
Yes.
and he kept knocking it out my hand. I
So
wanna
at
see
what point
this.
did you
And even,
give him the papers?
Oh, excuse
Yeah, hold
me.
up, hold up.
This another
Could
thing
you-
is too. Even from when we came September 6th, I even put the
Yeah.
documentation.
We'll get those in just a
Yeah, we'll
second.
get
We'll
I
get
even
those in a
put the
second. Okay?
documentations.
We have copies at the house.
Hold on, remember
Okay.
the video was
But
given
today,
to the
you gave him the
homosexual.
papers today?
The papers was given to him September 6th.
I understand.
Papers was faxed over May.
But
And they
we're
presented
talking about
papers.
today.
Today, the papers was
And
given to
Adam-
him
By
and
who?
Adam by Adam.
No,
And
Adam.
Adam said,
He's the law.
he's
He,
law
he has
enforcement.
to.
He was trying to talk to him. He said, "Listen, these are the papers." God came very
They
close.
have to present that.
And
You have
then-
to
That's
put-
Did you hear that conversation before or after the scuffle?
No, I heard. Listen, we have documentations here. Dude became aggressive, and then when Adam subdued him, that's when he sat up there and said, "Listen, these are the papers." The guy's familiar with the papers because I got him on video
Yeah.
trying to give it to him September 6th.
And I also put the papers on the door
On the door, and it's videotape that we put
yes.
the paper on the
and
door.
presented it
Because what ended up happening was the home association locked themselves in the office,
and said they.
and I said, "You gotta get out of here."
This is a formal notice.
Formal notice, and we had 8 other witnesses with us. It was cousins and relatives. They said, "Listen, this is getting out of hand."
We
All
could,
right.
excuse me, even trying to get another property
We
management
managed
to
it.
go in. They
We
feared
had
for
3 property management
they
companies,
feared for their safety
and they
because
said
they
they're
said
so aggressive.
they can't go inside the office because of
They're
this
so
property
aggressive.
management office being here and with the security here.
So
They-
we end up going contracting with Foxwood Realty, and Eugenia says she's going to get her staff to come up in here. All right. So I don't know.
So where we left off today, you said that
This is
Moses
severely uncomfortable.
Moses went back in. Right?
Moses went back in.
What happened after that?
I don't know. That's when I said, Moses, security just bypassed us, let's go. And they said, come on. And then we was waiting for y'all. That's when I had my paperwork out. When y'all came, not you per se.
So you waited at the scene for us to show up?
No, I drove down by the gate because I said I knew you was going to be there by the
Yeah.
gate.
And you
we was
stopped
gonna
at the
wait.
gate and waited
Yeah.
for us?
And I had my documentations out.
Uh-huh.
That's why when the officers came,
So who got in the car then? Did they come back out? Adam
They
and
came
Moses
out
who
to
came
drive.
with you?
and I said, listen,
Hey.
let's drive because they're going to get the police.
Okay, who's driving the vehicle at that point?
We had, what's that dude? One of the guys that Adam contracted.
Okay.
So
He
somebody
got
else
one
got
of
in
the-
your vehicle?
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Who was all in your vehicle at that time?
One of the guys that Adam contracted. He
And
said
who else?
Adam.
The two of you, this
and
other guy.
That's it.
So
That's
there's
it.
3 of you in that vehicle.
That's it.
Another
Where are you seated?
I'm sitting in the back seat.
Oh, yeah.
back.
Back seat. We both sitting in the back seat.
So Other than the driver up front, there's no one in the front passenger
No.
seat?
We
that's it.
make sure to stay back,
Stay
for our own
back seat.
safety.
It was a male that got in the car to drive?
It was a man. He was an American man.
Was he armed, did you know?
No, he wasn't. He was an American man. He wasn't armed. The guy's not very aggressive. He's somewhat
Okay.
timid. So that's why he said that
They drive.
he dropped.
And where'd everyone else go? You
They
had,
went into another car. I don't know where they went, but he just drove us, and I said, let me take my papers out because I know the police is gonna be coming.
did
So that's
anybody
why
else
we
go in that building besides Adam and Moses?
I don't know, cause we stayed in the back seat, and I was taking out documentations because I always have to have my documentation. I have the documentations for the police, and I also have my documentations if they needed more documentations from the native rights, which it shows tribal jurisdiction.
Well, you said they followed you from New York City to here, right? In another vehicle.
God, this is
So are they're
uncomfortable.
parking next to you? I mean, you didn't notice anyone else get
I'm
out
gonna
of
be
the
honest
vehicle?
with you.
Where
I'm
are
gonna
they
be honest
parked?
with you. I know this is under torture technique, and this is how you
Excuse
get it.
me.
What are you doing? We
Excuse
have to
me.
urinate on ourselves. You gotta
Excuse
give
me.
us some
Both-
water. What?
Both
This
of
is
us-
uncomfortable.
Am I-
And you're saying that we're not arrested. If we're not arrested, why we're being tortured?
Well, we're trying to get
I
your side
understand
of the
that. We
story.
told you that multiple times, and I'm telling you, I have documented disabilities. I have permanent document. This is why I had to end up retiring as an engineer. Now, if you don't believe me, I can provide you documentation.
We believe you, I mean,
And I'm sitting up here telling you, my sister now was in a bad car accident. Alright? But you wanna sit up here and torture us, and this is I'm gonna be honest with you, this is no different than what the mafia would do when watching that documentary when they would hog tie somebody to try to get information. This is what you're doing. And you're sitting up here saying that this
we
is
was
alright,
all
but
not-
this is under 18 U.S. Code 242 and 241. The FBI said they gave us that documentation. They said, and under the Birds Act, the Birds Act is discrimination on federal territory. That's federal territory. Discriminate against us as Indians. Then deprivation of color of rights, and the conspiracy of deprivation of color of rights. And we told you everything. We provided you documentations. You want to find some loopholes if it said you're a criminal on your own land. I'm gonna be honest with you. How can I be a criminal in my own country? All right. You come here. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're no different. Nobody set up
And
here.
on title
No
land.
Aboriginal vouch for you. You're illegal aliens, and you're acting as terrorists,
We-
torturing me, trying to make my sister now sign documentations and sit up here and try to put us on. I don't know, trying to make it seem like he was the aggressor. He wasn't even supposed to be on the land. All right. There's documentations that said he wasn't supposed to. I faxed over letters. I have
can we get
proof of
back
it.
to what happened?
No, let's go back to this. I faxed over letters. I mailed letters. I have proof of certifications. All right? I even put letters up on the door on September 6th. I've been going through this for over 2 years. Now, you sitting here trying to look for loopholes. We went through the same thing. I told you 3 times.
Hey, we're not
We'll
looking
play
for
back.
We're not looking
Excuse
for
me,
trying to
excuse
get
me.
Okay,
Wait,
this is under torture.
Excuse me,
I've been
basically,
tortured. Keep it, leave it.
no, wait a minute, documentations was presented of the
Okay.
land ownership.
And then you-
tribal, wait a minute, hold on, let me say
And that's
this.
something you could show us, we know
We
that.
presented that under
So-
tribal jurisdiction, so how
So
were we
you
here,
try-
excuse me, so how were we here today,
Being
Me-
hogtied.
was taken without consent here, handcuffed,
That's right.
and this is what, all without authorization, that we
But
spoke
what,
to this
what
place,
they,
and we
because
said-
what they're doing is illegal, so
Hold
what
on,
they're trying
wait,
to do
excuse
is
me.
justify what they're doing.
excuse me, gave the documentations at the
If you're gonna
location.
kill us, just kill us.
Hold
We
on.
already signed documentations that we're not suicidal nor depressed. But if this is under your white supremacy code as terrorists, do what you gotta do. If you're gonna do it, do it.
This is not
All
like,
right?
excuse
I
me.
don't,
I'm
I don't
sorry.
think I
Excuse me.
ever met you
This-
before. I don't
let
know
this-
what you
No,
think.
this
I
is
know, but
basically,
this is very
not-
uncomfortable.
This is not like,
This is
this
very,
wasn't
very
done to our
uncomfortable.
family before. We
And I'm
had
telling you right now,
We-
my grandmother's parents was killed
killed
for her
for,
land.
for the
So,
land, so this
If
would
you,
not
what
be.
you're doing, if you're gonna kill us, this what's the best part about this is we making this international.
What we're doing is just trying to get what
No,
happened
No,
on your side of the
and
story.
this is the information society and information agent, and you wonder why.
That's
We
what
weren't
so
down there
problems.
with you guys, so
Yeah, I know.
we would like you to provide the
I
rest
just
of the
did.
story about
It
what
was
happened.
told to you
But
3
when
times.
you left off,
But you want to keep
you
going
went
to
to the
Well,
various.
you didn't finish it.
No. We told you we was in the
and
car.
your
After
sister's trying
that,
to talk, you keep cutting your
No,
sister
go ahead,
off.
Keeba.
No.
We're in the car the whole time.
This
and you
is-
want us to say
excuse me,
something
wait a minute.
to incriminate them? I don't know
I
Hold
why.
know,
on.
and I just
pause.
wanna know what
I
happened.
just wanna know under what jurisdiction do you have for us to be placed right here now, when others have been taken off
Because
tribal land?
this is a constitutional
That's
violation.
what I just wanna know. Since
14th Amendment,
go on
Section
the
2.
record, I wanna know that because None of us are here by consent.
That's true. We've been abducted. You're violating the 14th Amendment,
And
Section
at-
2,
at-
the privileges and
at
immunity
this
clause
point,
of U.S. citizens. And
Basically,
Indians are,
we-
excuse me, Keeba, and Indians are citizens under the 1924 Indian Citizenship Act. We are U.S. citizens, not state citizens, and that's why my state documentations was voided and terminated.
basically,
All right.
we wouldn't have been crazy.
So
enough
now
to
just
go
call the
to any man
FBI
to do this.
and have the federals come.
Well, we need
Well, it's
to,
not that
we need
easy.
to get
They
to the
don't-
bottom of this
Okay.
first,
They
okay?
don't.
Yeah,
help
it
us
is.
out.
So-
And you keeping us in torture and anything,
No
this
one's
is duress. This is duress. Duress.
And us
This is
keeping
duress.
him.
You want us to make a statement under duress. And any statement, false statement under duress is illegal. This is duress.
Yeah, we just wanna get the
I
details of
know,
what happened.
but this is duress.
We
I
just
don't-
stated
These
that.
cuffs are extremely
Look, here's
tight.
the thing. Here's the thing, okay?
Go ahead.
There's
I know.
cameras everywhere.
Yes,
All
and
right.
let the cameras talk.
There's cameras everywhere.
Let the cameras talk.
Alright,
Yes.
we can
Then
tell
view the
pretty
cameras.
quick. I wanna hear what your
No,
your
view
side
the
of the
cameras.
story
View the
is.
cameras.
View the
Okay.
camera.
View the cameras.
And view the documentation.
We've been hog-tied for over 4 hours.
Excuse me, hold on.
View the cameras.
We
This
gave-
is cruel and unusual
we
punishment.
give sub-
And you trying to
Hold
justify
on.
what you're doing
We
and
give
want
it-
us to sign something.
Sufficient documentations to be reviewed.
Keeba, leave it. This is duress.
I'm aware of
This
that.
is duress.
Let them review it. Anything else, I guess it's after this point.
We can review all that stuff, but we're here to get your
Look
side
at the
of
cameras.
story.
Look at the
Okay.
cameras. It was
Let me-
given to
let
you.
me-
The
That's
cameras are
it.
gonna,
Let me ask
Then
you
look
a
at
guys
the
question.
cameras.
You did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
That's what you're
Of
telling
course
me.
I didn't.
Okay.
You sitting here
it-
telling me, and the sad part, you're trying to be condescending.
And
And,
I know-
and you're very
Oh,
ironic.
me? I'm trying to be
Hold
Yes,
on.
you
And
are.
I tried to
And you're
go
being
for something.
ironic because you're playing double talk. I'm telling you, I'm showing you, and you want to sit here and try to find loopholes to try to justify your actions.
No, I asked where we left off. We were
Okay,
talking
well
about.
then can you remove the
You
cuffs?
said you drove down. I'm
Well, can
I'm
you
waiting for the
remove the
rest of the
cuffs?
story is all.
That's it. This is, keep it, leave it. They want to play this game. This is torture. They're torturing
And
us.
I try to law enforcement.
This is
Formally in
torture.
their official capacity.
And we contact
people are gonna
Cutler.
talk through tribal law enforcement, but my partner and I are here to talk to you guys.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
it would have been no different if y'all would have been, y'all acting on your official capacity as well.
And then we would explain what we did, so this
You
is,
don't
we're
have to
trying to get you
explain
to
it.
explain.
Hold on,
Would
excuse me.
I hold tie you?
Excuse
Will you
me.
hold tie?
Wait a minute, hold on. I just want to say this is totally separate jurisdiction.
That's right.
Look, I just came into work today, and then
This
this
is
is,
totally separate
this is
jurisdiction.
going on.
This
so my
is-
partner and I are
is-
trying to find out
is
what's
getting-
going on.
Is to
Yeah, I
the
know.
point is it to say this is a federal violation.
Keeba, they playing.
How's your rip?
If they let us go and they don't kill us, we're gonna sue you.
No one's going to
Because we
hurt
just
you.
been arrested.
Yeah.
Not here for
We
that.
No. Under
We just-
18 U.S. Code 241 and 242, under deprivation of rights in the color of law,
We just been arrested.
this is already assault. This is already assault.
And y'all just arrested
Now,
us and
you just arrested. This is
taking
an
us-
assault.
And taking us without our will.
All right. So now what are you
From
gonna do now?
tribal land.
Murder, which is punishable up to 20 years, and the the Byrd Act,
Hold on.
which is discrimination on federal territory.
I'm trying to relax.
No, that's all right. This is assault.
All right,
Let
listen.
them
We're
review.
giving you an opportunity to tell your side of the story.
We
Do you
did.
want
We
to tell us or
did.
no?
We did.
Are you done?
Do you want to
done.
continue from where you left
No,
off?
we're done.
Are you done?
Would you like to say anything else?
No, we gave
We gave you
all-
everything.
like I said, we're not here
Have a
about
seat.
everything.
Have a seat for us.
Excuse me, just for the record, y'all names again?
Jones.
Bruder
Jones. We're hog tied. We're done. Deprivation of rights under color of law. 18-2, 41, 242, and the Birds Act. We've been on cuffs for 4 fucking hours. This is cruel and unusual punishment. If you don't, this is already assault. We found charges. They want to keep playing this
They're
game.
verifying when you contact Senator Casey's office.
No, they don't have all the documentations. They know what they did is wrong. This is you urinate on yourself, you keep us hooked up. There was a case where this guy won $70 million For 72 hours, he was put in this closet. He was kept in handcuffs. And they said they put him in the closet, the police, and they had no jurisdiction to do it.
That's what I'm asking myself. What
What
jurisdiction
jurisdiction
do you have?
to do
We
this?
was moved off a tribal land.
We don't consent, we've been abducted, and we've been tortured. We've been abducted and tortured.
Only thing they have to do is contact the tribe.
Where there's cameras, and look at the cameras. Look at the cameras. They got us hogtied. They won't do this to a Caucasian. But they doing this to the Aboriginal. These are terrorists. And you tell me this is not apartheid? I'm filing federal charges.
It is a
If
federal
you're gonna kill us, kill us. Get it over with. But you sadistic. We have all our documentations, and I left documentations at the house. But they looking as if they said, we leave you hogtied, you have disability, you confess. That's why I told you, we notarized all those documentations with the attorney, that we would never consent of our own free will into a color blow jurisdiction. I'm well aware they have no jurisdiction.
Alright, we're gonna get you guys comfortable. Come on up.
Come on.
We're
Get
gonna
you
Right,
comfortable. You
that's
won't
right,
have to be
okay.
What are you
handcuffed
gonna
behind
do?
your back
You gonna
anymore.
handcuff
Anything
me?
like that, you know.
Oh, no, we're not doing that already.
Just follow them.
I don't have to run. If you're gonna kill me, you just do it, kill me, my sons.
They gave us an address in Fort Chester Way. I guess when they talked to Lieutenant Mullen, the attorneys found the ship, and their attorneys reached out to our state attorneys in Harrisburg, the AG's office, they lost the FBI.
Yeah,
Take it
I don't
yeah,
want
that's
to.
all you want.
Yeah,
That's a
exactly.
deal.
It's a deal. You get a confession yet? Come on, man. Can they police it themselves, right? Whatever they want to do, you get out of it.
One condition, you have to build a 50-foot motor around it,
Yeah.
so nobody can leave, you can go in. Nobody should go past it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
We want that, man.
Let's go.
I could set up a general, press release with Channel 13, they were probably down there about the, and they usually press it.
Were they at the front gate when you got there? Just
Oh, no, when I got there, no, I was leaving. So Pike, I was first. No, where?
Are you done with it? Will there be a process, or they
Yeah, I
just have
think
to?
Colin's gonna bring somebody else in. Before we went in, I saw a male that had a security uniform on.
That,
With brown neckers and a vest he was wearing.
yeah, sweater like ours.
Yeah, took the best of the security guy, right? Yeah. Did they broke in from body? Is that 5 rolls up the way?
So only ones. All them Steelers. Where are they going? That's my big question. Where are they going?
They didn't, she claims that, yeah, she didn't say, she was in there. She claims that we're gonna move anybody today, they just want to circulate it or
They have to
get a
be
real
first.
estate, yeah. Get their real estate agent involved. They want to know just the state. But we know a real estate agent, so what do you think?
Oh, nice, and let all the state recruiters claim it. four guys have 10? So it's conceivable